Hello everyone, it's your host Seth the Programmer, and today we're actually talking about Naruto as Hokage versus all of the other Hokage that have come before him, meaning Hokages 1 through 6. However, they will be in their prime, so not even Hashirama versus Madara level, more so Hashirama after you learn the deity gates after Madara. Hiruzen in his prime that's stated to surpass all of the Hokage before him, including Hashirama, and as well as dual Mangekyo Sharingan 6 paths Kakashi, all of them versus 6 paths Naruto. Now, I'm mainly making this video not just really jerk off Naruto, it's more so to explain certain questions that people have, such as, well, Naruto only has the 9 tails, didn't Hashirama body the 9 tails? They don't seem to understand the increases in lore behind the 6 paths in Hokage era Naruto's, so I thought I would go over that in more detail. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I would love if every single person that watched the subscribe, although that's not gonna happen, but please do if you do enjoy this video or you love topics like this, I'd really appreciate it. This video should be relatively quick as there's a very large preponderance of evidence when dealing with this subject, but basically we'll be going over Hokage Naruto versus Hokage Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Minato, Tsunade, and Kakashi all at their peaks. This means DMS Kakashi will also be used, as I said earlier. Obviously, Naruto's main threats right off the bat are Hashirama, Prime Hiruzen, and DMS Kakashi, but let's explain why the lesser threats are absolutely nothing at this stage. I'll go over 6 paths later, but for now, I'll just give you a basic summary as to why they're not that relevant, as surprisingly a lot of people don't know things like, wow, Minato's not really that much of a threat, Tobirama wouldn't be that much of a threat. Like, these aren't normal thoughts people have. They're just like, oh well, they're Hokage, they did cool stuff, they should be able to do at least something, right? We'll start off with Tsunade. Tsunade in her base is more so around the power of Kakashi during the Land of Waves and arrival to Part 1 Kabuto, and with her 100 healings technique she's able to somewhat be on par with the one-armed 4th Raikage, although it is implied she is somewhat inferior and more reckless than he is, even with her massive chakra reserve versus Edo Madara. The 4th Raikage was obviously more so a match for 5 Kage Summit Arc Sasuke. You could even go as far as to say the Raikage and Cloud Jonin thought the best option was to retreat once Sasuke whipped out his Susanoo, even before he threatened to take down the surrounding area. He also got blitzed by Teen KCM-1, Kyuubi Chakra Mode 1 initial Naruto, let alone the EMS or Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke that was fighting alongside reanimated Itachi and versus 10 Tails Obito, let alone Kyuubi Chakra Mode 2, the one with the cape, Sage Mode Naruto later on, that fights Jubi, Obito, and Madara. This same Madara was so strong later on that while even blind, he could bust out of Hashirama's deity gates that even pinned down the 10 Tails. Hashirama even states this Madara is on the verge of reobtaining his past powers, implying he's much stronger than when he toyed with the 5 Kage, as Hashirama literally just got done fighting Edo Madara in his perfect Susanoo. Tsunade's healing is also a trash version of Hashirama's, at least in the word of Madara's, and she'd easily get vaporized by Naruto in this fight with one attack. Naruto holding power to turn the world to ash and fighting beings who can vaporize entire realms with celestial bodies versus Tsunade, who's still getting scared about mountains getting ripped apart and being able to do nothing to the 10 Tails or God Tree. Not to say that Tsunade is mountain level, just that she doesn't have the feats to say she's on 6 paths levels. The only real benefit she would have is maybe like healing someone if they got bodied by Naruto later on, but that seems unlikely considering she's very confident about being upfront in combat. Minato's strongest state as far as we know, I'll do him next, is his Edo Tensei with the Kyuubi Chakra Mode 2. He also has his own cloak, who we see directly compared to War Art KCM2 Naruto, and they're fighting alongside each other and matching each other pretty well. You could actually imply that the main difference is that Naruto can better use Senjutsu and recharge his chakra, whereas Minato is reluctant and doesn't even attempt to in character. So he'd be simply superior in terms of stamina. Naruto also has a moment where he has to start adapting and fighting Jubito and gets much stronger as the war goes on, whereas Minato doesn't display any real increases. Rather, he just gets his arms chopped off by Obito and Madara because Kishimoto was having depression about his own father, so he thought he would chop apart Minato. That's a true story, by the way. Finally, we'll just go over Tobirama. Now, Tobirama doesn't have any real feats either in the war. In life, he was more so a match for Kinkaku and Ginkaku, whereas Naruto is able to create a shadow clone army of fighting numerous numerous Kage level fighters, even with his worst and weakest form of KCM. Even during the war, we see Tobirama get fondled and handled with no real problems by one-eyed Madara. He even blatantly gets outdone by Hiruzen numerous times in the same war, and while Hiruzen is no slouch, there's nothing for Tobirama to suggest he has the power or speed to even take on KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto, let alone his thousands of shadow clones, which he will undoubtedly use. His best feats would be teleporting Obito's True Seeking Orb, which Minato was having a mental crisis over having to bring himself to fight Obito during and thinking he was a failure, blah blah blah, which Tobirama used a seal he placed on him earlier to quickly flash over to him and save him. And while he's very witty and powerful, there's a reason he listens to Hashirama when Hashirama at all flexes. Now that we're kind of done with them, we can then go over characters like Prime Hiruzen. Now, Prime Hiruzen's only lore is that he was the strongest and greatest of the Hokage, so for this video we can just say he's roughly more powerful than Hashirama. Now, whether you actually think he is or isn't not really relevant. We're just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt so that we don't downplay anything and no one gets a little bit iffy, like, well, you had to downplay Hiruzen for Naruto to stand a chance. Like, no, I want everyone to fight Naruto at their full abilities and their full lore being used, so I guess we need to go over Hashirama to kind of give an idea of what Hiruzen can even do. Now, back in 2017, I did make a video on Hashirama versus Naruto with Swag Kage, but there were a few errors in it. Back in that older video, we mentioned that KCM2 Teen Naruto should actually be a match for Hashirama. However, this is actually a bit off. The reasoning used in that video was based on Hashirama saying that Ninetales Naruto had chakra that rivaled his in base, then saying both could go Sage Mode, and Naruto had clones he could utilize to overpowering a rivaling Hashirama. This doesn't work because this is of course Edo Hashirama, just as it's confirmed Kabuto didn't actually enhance Madara with Edo Tensei, as he didn't know his full power in his prime. Neither was Hashirama reanimated at full power. Reanimated Hashirama was able to take down reanimated Madara, but later states his reanimated chakra rivals that of Teen KCM Naruto. This is interesting because we know Madara used to possess the full Ninetales and actually made a majestic attire Susanoo with the full Kyuubi, whereas Naruto only had half of the Ninetales. Some people will try to argue that Naruto's Ninetales got stronger over time, and while this may be true for the initial full Ninetales that swelled up and grew giant because of its hatred and surpassed all of the other Bijou, Naruto's half of the Ninetales shouldn't be much different than Minato's, and Minato's was obviously sealed inside his dead body, and there's no proof that that one got stronger, and Naruto doesn't seem to make any gripes about that version, so it shouldn't be terribly different even if there is a difference. Hashirama's Buddha was able to rip it apart as well and win, so in all reality, War Arc KCM2 is more so a rival to reanimated Hashirama and not the Prime version. Now, this is of course where Six Paths Naruto finally comes into play, as all the other Kage are more so getting stopped by just the Kyuubi mode. Many people seem to think, well, Naruto got Kyuubi, but Hashirama beat Big Kyuubi and Madara, so... But obviously Naruto is a lot more than that in Six Paths. This Six Paths Sage Mode Naruto receives a massive chakra amp from Hagoromo, Obito's Six Paths, the chakra of all Bijou, and Six Paths Senjutsu. It's not just another Ninetales cloak. This Senjutsu is also so strong that even without his multiple Bijou chakras, he was able to overpower and almost one-shot 10 Tails Renegon Sage Mode Madara, in which Madara would have to absorb the entire God Tree and get his second Renegon back to even have his Limbo be on par with Naruto's shadow clones. Now, if Hashirama is near death after fighting EMS Madara with the Ninetales, Sage Mode, Dual Renegon, 10 Tails, amped Six Paths Madara with Limbos is absolutely fondling Hashirama with no problem. Now, it doesn't really end here, as Naruto would then go on to fight Kaguya, who is so powerful that she can casually slap away Naruto's shadow clones, the same shadow clones that were evenly matched with the Limbos that rival Madara were getting one-shotted with zero effort. Naruto, as the Jinchuriki of all the Bijou, has many quirks as well as the Boil release, in which he gets basically a Kaioken 8 gates like super amp, as all the chakra in his body boils, which gives him the power to overpower and even slam Kaguya through mountains in one hit the second it's utilized. If this attack is enough to momentarily overpower Kaguya, who could one-shot shadow clones that were on par with possibly dual Renegon Madara with the Ten Tails, then Hashirama objectively gets one-shotted, and there's no evidence to the contrary. Of course, course, Hashirama has no feats on scale with Kage or any Six Paths characters either, who are more so in the business of busting and absorbing entire realms. The last one to take on Naruto is Six Paths Kakashi. Now, over the years I've had varying opinions about him, but here's how I think it would go. Let's look over what he's done. In Six Paths, his Susanoo easily gets tagged and obliterated by Kaguya, and then Kakashi uses Kamui to suddenly catch Kaguya off guard and chop her with his Kamui lightning blade. However, this doesn't even chop her arm off or anything of the like, it more so just damages her since the blade ignores durability. His Kamui shuriken are also capable of warping away numerous tails or the rampaging Kaguya 10 tails mutation, and while Kakashi is mainly a hacks-based fighter, his abilities are still limited. You need to realize what Six Paths Kakashi even is. He's basically just the white-haired Six Paths Obito after the 10 tails got ripped out of him, using his chakra on a spiritual level with Kakashi. You could even argue that Obito might have even given most of his chakra to Naruto before that to try to save his life, but even with that benefit of the doubt, that Obito was barely able to hold off one-eyed 10 tails Madara without the God's Read, in which Madara obviously fondled Obito like a creepy uncle. Now, while that's the lore the plot doesn't have to follow if they want to make Kakashi do cool stuff to make Team 7 do cool Team 7 stuff again, Naruto even says that Kakashi's Susanoo and Kamui are way cooler than Sasuke's. This is where adult Naruto would come into play. Adult Naruto would know everything about DMS Kakashi and would also be aware that DMS Kakashi has a severe time limit and strain on his chakra. Zetsu also thought Kakashi, even with his Kamui Shuriken and Susanoo, would be no match for post-ETSO expansive True Seeking Orb Kaguya, and more so got caught off guard by intangibility since Kakashi has never showed that ability before. So there's no evidence that Kakashi would be able to beat a clone swarm by a full-powered Naruto that can tango with characters that Sasuke think rival or surpass Kaguya with just taijutsu alone. This massive stamina difference, power in numbers, and possible power and speed difference would be simply too much for Kakashi to handle in such a short amount of time, especially with Naruto knowing all of his tricks, and Naruto being a trickster himself. Now, we've pretty much proven that Naruto can handle any one of them one-on-one. His raw power, speed, and stamina is just astronomically higher to the point where only Kakashi only remotely rivals. But could Naruto take all of them at the same time? Does the teamwork though, gang, take it? Well, with thousands of shadow clones, yes, there wouldn't be much of a difference. We've even seen with base KCM that Naruto could make Kage level shadow clones when he was much younger and without even a full KCM, let alone shadow clones that could swap with 10-tailed limbo clones that scale higher than Hashirama himself. So imagine like 2,000 characters that are all stronger than Hashirama swarming the battlefield. It would just be GG for such a finite amount of Kage. There's simply no conceivable way for them to win. At best, Naruto gets hit with the Kamui Shuriken, but you'd have to seriously pull something out of your ass for Naruto to not expect an attack like that, or simply try to take out Kakashi or wear him out quickly. A good point of Naruto being able to avoid one-shot attacks is like how he avoided Kaguya's ash bones for the entire confrontation with clones with just his wit before he even knew the ash bones could one-shot him. In this case, Naruto would not only have superior stats to Kakashi, but loads of prep and prior knowledge on his Kamui in advance. Even if you said Hiruzen or Minato caught him with the Reaper Death Seal, it wouldn't do a whole lot, as we've seen Naruto and Orochimaru play tug of war with their souls when it's halfway ripped out, and of course Six Paths Naruto would be able to slap Minato or Hiruzen away with his chakra arms in this instant. Also, Naruto has seen this jutsu before, or a similar soul tugging jutsu. Minato also suggests that sealing away too much chakra is almost impossible with just the 9 tails, let alone Six Paths Naruto who scales above the 10 tails plus Madara plus 2 Renegon plus God Tree plus 6 paths. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not trying to throw any shade at anybody. This is just to educate, general audience. A lot of people, surprisingly, don't even know these things. So, like, whenever I suggest this topic in my server, they're like, what? That sounds lame and boring. But you'd be surprised. A lot of people are actually interested to see these kind of things. So they don't really think about it like that. So, I hope you did enjoy the video. I do have another interesting video about if Naruto can destroy a planet down below. You can see my big-brained math on display if you really want to. I think it's pretty fun. So, other than that, thank you so much for watching, and till next time.
Hello guys, it's your boy Clyde here. Just want to say real quick, if you guys could do me a quick favor, please go check out this Naruto video on the screen right now. If there's one video that I can recommend 100% on Seth's channel that you should watch after you finish with this video, please go check out this Naruto planet busting video, because not only does it cover a lot of misconceptions in the community, especially around Naruto power scaling, but we actually put a week's worth of editing into this video. And because YouTube has this thing called watch time, where basically what they do is they track how long people stay on a video. Now this video used to have an ad at the start, which was 1 minute and 30 seconds-ish, somewhere around there, so they were noticing that a lot of people were clicking off the video. We have since removed that said ad, but because we did have the ad back when it was first released, it sort of did kill the views. So if you guys could go support that video, it's a video that I personally recommend a lot. We did put, as I said before, a week's worth of editing into it, and it does cover an issue which in my opinion I think needs to be sort of hammered down, and you know, Naruto is fucking planet level. So anyway, I'll stop talking, but please go check out that video, and I hope you all have yourselves a great day.